Hello, my name is Dr. Steele, and welcome to Steele Mathematics, where lessons in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Calculus are taught. And today, we're going to talk about angle pairs. Now, before we actually get into angle pairs, I want to show you some special angles and some indicators. And the first angle I'm going to introduce to you is the acute angle, which measures more than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees. Next, we have the right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. Now, you see the little square that is leaning against the vertex. That little square indicates that an angle is a right angle. Next, we have the obtuse angle, which measures more than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. Finally, we have the straight angle, which is exactly 180. Now notice the word straight, whereas you see that the angle looks like a straight line. So that's why it's called a straight angle. Two figures are congruent if and only if they have the same measure. So what you see here are two pairs of congruent line segments. If you look at line segment AB and line segment CD, each of them has a hash mark on them. The hash marks indicates that the two line segments are congruent. And if you look at segment MN and segment OP, each of them has two hash marks, meaning that they are congruent. If you see a pair of line segments that have the same number of hash marks, they indicate that they are congruent. So segment AB is congruent to segment CD if and only if the length of segment AB equals the length of segment CD. This symbol means congruent. And segment MN is congruent to segment OP if and only if the length of segment MN equals the length of segment OP. Now we have congruent angles. If you look at angle BKI and angle GSQ, each of them has a hash mark. The hash marks indicate that the two angles are congruent. If you look at angle RCJ and angle HDE, each of them has two hash marks. They indicate that they're congruent. So angle BKI is congruent to angle GSQ if and only if the measure of angle BKI is equal to the measure of angle GSQ. Angle RCJ is congruent to angle HDE if and only if the measure of angle RCJ equals the measure of angle HDE. So in this lesson, we're talking about angle pairs. And the first pair of angles that I introduced to you are congruent angles. Now let's say we take a pair of angles, add up their measures, and they equal 90. They would be complementary angles. If they add up to be 180, they would be supplementary angles. Therefore, angle AOB and angle CBD are complementary angles because they add up to be 90. Angle EQF and angle GRH are supplementary angles because they add up to be 180. Two angles are adjacent angles if and only if they share a vertex and a side. And so as you can see, angle RMS and angle SMT are adjacent angles because they share point M as the vertex and ray MS as a side. One thing I want to note is that those two angles do not overlap. Adjacent angles don't overlap. They're just next to each other. So angle RMS and angle SMT are right next to each other. Those are adjacent angles. A pair of adjacent angles that make a straight angle are a linear pair. So as you can see, angle RKW and angle WKN are a linear pair. They make a straight angle together. Now, as you recall, the measure of a straight angle is 180. So, angle RKW and angle RKN's total measure is 180. And that's what the linear pair theorem said. A linear pair are supplementary. Therefore, the measure of angle RKW plus the measure of angle WKN is 180 degrees. But now, let's say two lines intersect. Well, the non-adjacent pair, or the pair that's not adjacent, are called vertical angles. So angle MKP and angle NKO is one pair of vertical angles. The other pair are angle MKN and angle PKO. Vertical angles are congruent. Angle MKP is congruent to angle NKO, and angle MKN is congruent to angle PKO. That's what the vertical angle theorem says. Now, in these examples I'm about to show you, it is very important that you recognize the pair of angles before you try to find measurements. So let's look at these examples. Let's say you ask to find a missing measure. One angle is 146 and you ask to find another. You should recognize that they are a linear pair, meaning they're supplementary. They add up to be 180. Therefore, to find the other angle, you subtract 146 from 180. And you would get 34. So the solution is 34 degrees. On number 2, one angle is 123 degrees You ask to find another. The two angles are vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Therefore, if one angle is 123 degrees, the other has to be 123 degrees. On number 3, one angle is 51 degrees and you ask to find another. The two angles make a linear pair. They are supplementary. They add up to be 180. Therefore, to find the other angle, you will subtract 51 from 180. And you would get 129 degrees. And finally, on number 4, one angle is 61 degrees, and you ask to find another. They're vertical angles. They're congruent. Therefore, if one angle is 61 degrees, the other angle has to be 61 degrees. So now let's say you are to find the value of x. So we have one angle being 5x plus 17, the other angle being 9x minus 7. They are vertical angles. They are congruent, meaning their measures are equal. Therefore, 5x plus 17 equals 9x minus 7. So now to solve the equation, we will subtract 5x from both sides. You will get 17 equal 9x minus 5x is 4x minus 7. We're going to add 7 to both sides. 17 plus 7 is 24 equal 4x. Divide both sides by 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6 equal x. Therefore, the solution is 6. Number 6, we have one angle being 3x minus 5 and the other being 7x plus 15. You should recognize that they are a linear pair. Linear pairs are supplementary, meaning they add up to be 180 degrees. Therefore, 3x minus 5 plus 7x plus 15 equal 180. So now we're going to solve the equation. We have 3x plus 7x. We're going to combine the like terms. 3x plus 7x is 10x. Negative 5 plus 15 is 10. Equal 180. Subtract 10 from both sides. You have 10x equal 170. Divide both sides by 10. And you get 17. So the solution is 17. On number 7, we have an angle that measures 15x plus 4 and the other being 7x. You should recognize that the two angles are a linear pair, and linear pairs are supplementary, meaning they add up to be 180 degrees. Therefore, 15x plus 4 plus 7x equal 180. So we're going to solve the equation. We're going to combine our like terms. 15x plus 7x is 22x plus 4 equal 180. Subtract 4 from both sides, so we have 22x equal 176. We're going to divide both sides by 22. So we have x equal 176 divided by 22. You get 8. And therefore, the solution is 8. We have talked about the various pairs of angles. But the thing is, whenever you solve problems concerning these special pairs of angles, it is very important that you first recognize the pair before you try to find measures. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day.